Going on there, YouTube? It's kind of bittersweet today, but the scale garage is coming down. It's time to upgrade. You know, the channel's changed. I've had this garage for going on about 5 years since I started the YouTube channel, and learned quite a bit. You know, just getting more involved in the hobby and you know, the online community that we have. Some of you guys out there are doing stuff way beyond this, and it's time I step it up a little bit. I need to make something that's going to match my style a little bit more. Something very rustic, very old, very hot rodish. So I've got everything emptied out, as you saw. I was trying to save my window, but I think I got a little crazy with the wood glue, and I don't think it's coming out in one piece, so probably just hang on to that. I don't know. I'm still in the process of expanding my workspace at the house, so this room hopefully eventually will just be the studio where we film the show, and I have everything on display, and then the room next to it is going to be the actual workshop where the welding and the grinding and all the dirty stuff go. I'm not sure if you can see how filthy this stuff is. It's just, there's just piles of metal shavings everywhere. It gets down in all these little tiny details and makes everything nasty. As I pulled half of the floor out, that did used to be one piece. Back after I built all this and was kind of going, I got real into the 1/14 scale semi-trucks, and I decided they need a garage. So I cut this one in half and I mounted it on top. So it was on top of this, and that's where this other piece of wood in the back comes from. That was part of my 1/14 scale depot that I sort of made. And it was just too hard to deal with, to get with any of this stuff, and eventually I got out of the semi-trucks and kind of put it back together. But I'd already cut the floor in half crooked, cut that wall piece off, which you can see probably, yeah, it was just wood glued back together. So this new build is going to be very in-depth. I'm going to show everything. That was the biggest question I got from the old scale garage, is dimensions and what materials and everything. So this shop was built out of scrap wood. This was stuff that I found at the local Habitat store resale shop. They sell all leftover construction stuff. I mean, that piece along the back was $2, and that was the exact size it was. So, you know, I didn't have to do anything to it. Just put my studs on it. These are some balsa. That was like 1/4 inch square, and it looked the part. I do want to try and save my roll-up door. I don't have any of that stuff. I have to go to a hobby shop and get some styrene. That is corrugated styrene sheets, 2 of them, just painted gunmetal gray, metallic. And the roll-up portion of the door is a 3/4 inch dowel rod, just painted flat black. And the chain is an old necklace that an old girlfriend of mine let me use. So nothing real groundbreaking there, but this half of it could still be used as a scale garage if it would travel well. It's pretty sturdy. I mean, the base is 1/2 inch MDF. The walls are 3/4 inch with this on top of it, and it's all nailed together with a brad nailer. It's pretty sturdy stuff, but we gotta get it out of here. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna mess with the roll-up door just yet. I'm gonna set this out of the room so I can work. I need to remove this whole back half here because the dimensions I ended up making my new floor, I need the full length of this table. So that's another 4 inches. It's 4x4 posts, 2x6s. I don't have to go outside. It's freezing and raining outside, so I have to go throw out stuff in the scrap wood pile. But yeah, I'm gonna get this out of here and we'll keep moving. Alright guys, clean slate. So this room's pretty small. It's roughly 10 by 10 or 11. This workbench I made when I bought this house. It used to have a porch all the way across the back, and there was a fire, and they just had all this lumber stacked out by the property line. So first year I was here, I went through it, sorted out all the burnt stuff, the bad stuff, and I built a deck on the back porch. So I made a little porch, and had enough lumber to do that. lot of it was crap, but I had a bunch of these big 4x4 posts. So I scored these tabletops at the Habitat resale shop, and they were like $5 a piece. So I've lined the walls in it, and I built this giant island here for the scale garage. And it is super heavy. Originally I intended for it to have wheels, so that, you know, in the event I did move, I could open up these doors here in the back that go outside and wheel it on out. But it was honestly too heavy for me to pick up and put wheels on, and I never found a good deal on casters that were strong enough. I would like it a little taller. All the other workbenches in the room are about this high, standing height. But you see, it served me well. It's got countless holes from drilling aluminum and stuff like that for the custom builds. There's 2 of these tops put together. Our depth front to back is 48, and our width is 59. It's kind of an odd size. The piece I've got for the floor of this new shop is a little bit bigger than that. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with this light. I have bought lights for the shop. I'm going to make some rafters, kinda, just for the back little bit of the actual shop, and I'm going to mount these lights in it, so we'll have good lighting all around for filming. So before I paint the floor, I did do wood for the floor. I've been talking about doing concrete, and it's just too much, too big a space, and this isn't perfectly level. These slope a little to the middle, so I really didn't want to do that. It would weigh a couple 100 pounds and just be a hard thing to deal with. So, plus getting it into this tiny room, because I have to go through my living room to get in here, and it's just there's a whole bunch of reasons why I didn't use concrete. But I like the wood floor, and we'll paint it. I bought some gloss gray. Last time I just used primer, and I just used the junk I had laying around, and primered the floor gray, and I might have hit it with some clear coat, try to give it that garage floor shine. This time though, I did not get MDF. I've got birch plywood. It was actually half the price of the MDF sheet that I was looking at, and I got it cut for me because it's raining outside and I can't really get a table saw out and all that. So I've got a 5 by 60 inch, and then I've got the sides 18 inches high and no back yet. And I've got some MDF I'm hoping is long enough for the back. If not, while the floor is drying, I'll have to go make another run and pick up another piece. But you saw me try to strip the roll-up door off the old shop wall. I'm thinking it's glued on really good. It's really thin styrene. It would take me the rest of the day to get to a hobby shop to buy these sheets and then paint them in the rain and all that. So I may actually cut this piece and just use this and put rafters on both sides, and I think it'll fit the bill for the roll-up door that I need in the shop. It's going to be basically the same layout. The roll-up door is going to be in the back corner, kinda, and it's just going to be bigger. It's going to be more updated. It's going to be more realistic. We're not going to just have MDF walls. And what's funny is the other piece here, I don't know, nobody ever commented on the videos, but there's a footprint, a shoe right here from when I built this. Like I said, this is all scrap lumber that I bought for a couple bucks a piece. And yeah, I never even noticed that until I put it together, and I was like, well, what can you do? So it's one of those little things that I always see when I'm filming. A little footprint on the wall, or a massive footprint on the wall. So yeah, I'm going to grab my new piece for the floor and test fit it. Alright, so one upside to this is it is a lot lighter than the MDF. I've got about 3 inches overhang on this side. My lamp here is causing me some trouble over here. I need to come this way and it would even out pretty well and actually fit almost exactly. But yeah, and I still haven't decided yet. The sides I've got them cut to length to come all the way to the front, so that way I can film different angles. I can get in there, but it might limit me. I may have to bring them back a foot or so. I'm not sure yet. We'll just have to see once we get to the detail part. It's kind of weird because it's the same tabletop I had, but it's so much bigger. And the other shop, the floor was probably, it cut them to about right here, and it was like 4 inches shorter in the back. And yeah, there's all kinds of, this is a little bit bigger in every direction. But this is nice. I'm hoping the grain doesn't come through on the paint. I probably could sand it. Don't want to. Just need to clean it up and just start spraying the heck out of it. And then we'll see what we get. Alright guys, so I went ahead and put what primer I had left on the base just to see how it absorbed. Got that drying. Then I've only got 2 cans of the gloss gray. It's probably not going to be enough. I almost went back, got more, and it was crowded. So my main structure, the beams inside of the walls on this shop, are going to be these posts. These are 5/8, 36 inches. My walls are going to be 18 inches high. I've got a handful of these here, and they're all perfectly straight. Actually, these 2 are pretty dang bad. I didn't realize that. I've got some of these at Hobby Lobby, and then some of them at Home Depot. So we've got 2 different kinds of wood. I think pine and I don't know what these are. Doesn't say. Can't get the stickers off, of course. But the theme with this shop is going to be distressed. It's going to be aged. It's going to not be perfect and shiny and new to go with all the rat rods and the rusty rigs that I'm building. So, like we did on the ramp truck bed, I'm going to beat the crap out of all this wood far more extensively than we did on the ramp truck bed, because now I know how the stain acts in the pits and crevices and stuff on it. So, have fun watching this. Alright guys, so this is taking better part of an afternoon to prepare the post for the scale shop. And I only did 3 sides of this. I focused here on the front side, and this is the part that we're going to see mainly. And I rounded the edges off. I've hammered and dented and poked holes in, and then I flipped them, did side A and side B slightly, not as much because they're not going to be as noticeable, but it still needed to have some detail. It couldn't be perfect while the fronts are all beat up. So the next step, I've got to find something to lay down here, and we're going to stain these. And I'm hoping to get a real nice old look to them, hoping that the stain sets in all these little nooks and crannies. No set rhythm, no rhyme or anything for what I've done here. Just trying to beat them up. I don't even know if I have enough. I may have too many. I haven't decided about how far apart I'm going to space them. None of that stuff yet. No real details. Yeah, just kind of winging it. I've got the base dimensions. I've got another can of gray paint to put on the floor. I'm not sure if it's going to come out good enough. I may have to wait and do another can or so on it. I may not like it at all. I don't know. But yeah, in the meantime, because the stain takes a couple days to dry, and I plan on putting it on pretty thick, maybe even 2 coats. So we're going to get started on that with these pieces. Alright guys, so, man, it's been all weekend long. So many things. I hope you picked up on all the details. I'll try to walk through it here to show you and explain it to you. So that wood on the back, that is from an old bamboo blind, like an outdoor patio blind. I bought those off of Etsy. And I'm waiting to hear back from the seller right now because I need more. That was 3 different orders. Me thinking I didn't have enough, and I still didn't have enough. So, we got enough to do the whole back wall. The big ordeal with the back door, the roll-up door. I broke the chain, and I tried to reuse the whole section because I had glued those are styrene pieces. They are, where's the wrappers? Oh, in the other room. Those are 2 styrene sheets that make that roll-up door. And it's a 4145, I think, is the evergreen part number. I tried to reuse that whole panel because they were glued to the wood. And I got all that in there, and when I was nailing the support structure behind the wall with the air gun, they shot all the way through and ruined the door. And ruined 2 nice painted sheets of styrene. But I ran to the hobby shop and I got another one. I had one still, and I ran and picked up another sheet. And I bought a vintage Tamiya buggy they had. That's for another video. And I painted them a different shade of gray this time. I bought some Model Masters, just gloss gray, plain old gray. Looks more like a roll-up door than the dark gray did. I probably should have repainted the roll-up part of the roll-up door at the top. It's kind of scratched up and stuff. It's just about a 3/4 inch wooden dowel rod that was from the old shop. But I broke the chain that it had, and that chain's been in my way all the time, so I just used that. It's a little bit large, doesn't quite look the part, but you get the idea. So yeah, you saw me distress and beat and stain the post. I'm not sure yet. I may still add some cross braces once we get the sides in, because right now this is just the back wall, no side, no side. Once I get the sides in and line those the same, then I'm going to add some ceiling structure, and I'll probably pick up another set of these lights. These are halogen, like, display lights from Home Depot. It's $25 for 3. I probably should have bought the 6-pack for $50, but they were all wired together and it was nice. But I didn't think I needed that many, but after getting these up, I probably do. So I'll probably pick up another pack of these. They just plug into an extension cord that they came with that has 3 connections, and I'll plug them into this lamp up here that has the arm, and it has a connector over there, a 110 outlet. So I'm digging how it looks. I started trying to put scale stuff up, but I need to wait. I need to wait till we get the other walls built. The power outlets, those were, if you remember way back, those were a deal I did with Shapeways. We were doing some updates to the Scale Garage. Shapeways sponsored that. Those are available through Shapeways. And I had used styrene tube, which was not cost effective to run the conduit. So this time, I found some galvanized, what was that, about a 1/4 inch steel rod at Home Depot. Picked up a few of those, and I actually drilled out all of the studs on the wall and ran it through. You saw me do, and looks a lot better. Let me move this out of the way so you can kind of see. And pretty happy with how that came out. You can see those right there, and it's not perfect, and you can see bare wood where I drilled through, and I didn't drill them big enough. And then I nailed the studs to the wall, and then I had to kind of come back through and booger drill holes out bigger. But yeah, we've got some outlets ran to strategic places. There are going to be some more on the side. I think I have 4, 5, 6 of those little 4 outlet 3D printed pieces left. I do only have 1 piece of that galvanized line now. Well, I've got a couple small pieces, but we'll make it work. But I'm really happy with how this is coming out. I was kind of worried about how the floor did. I almost repainted it. I mean, I had it all the way apart, had it in the living room, and I was fixing to go outside and try a different gray, and it's like 25 degrees right now. It's like I'm just going to make it worse, so I need to leave it alone. Now, there are some imperfections. If I can get them to show up here. When I first started nailing my little tiny nails by hand to all the strips of wood, I thought they were shorter nails, and I ended up nailing 1,000 little holes in my nice new painted floor, but you really can't see it, so we're just going to rock it like it is. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to keep this short. I still haven't decided at this point if this is going to be a 2-part video, or I can be patient and wait until I get the rest of the stuff and share it with you. But I think we're on the right track. It's getting the look that I want. I'm probably going to go by tomorrow and get some more craft wood. I need some long pieces that can run all the way across the top, so I can make a couple ceiling supports. I did cut the back wall down. It was 18 inches, and it would barely fit underneath that shelf. It was hitting the angles, the brackets that hold that shelf up. So I did go ahead and chop about 1 inch off of that, mainly because I ran out of the wood strips, and I didn't have enough to do 3 more rows. So yeah, it works. I'll probably do the same with the sides just so it matches. Now, my original intent, I have the pieces cut, was to go all the way with the sides, all the way to the ends. What was that? 36 inch, I think. And I will not be doing that because, one, this slight leans in, so that's going to hit. So I'll probably go about 32 inches on the walls. And that way, also over here, that would really, it would come to here. So it would be good at blocking off the view of the room, but it would make it almost impossible for me to get over there to my welding area and to do what I need to do. So anyways, this will end part 1. Part 2 will be here in a week or so once I get all the parts in. I appreciate you guys watching and following along, and it was nice to meet everybody out at USTE. I hope next year more of y'all can come out. But anyways, keep it scale. I'll see y'all in the next video.